What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Lions video. Now, there have been a ton of questions surrounding this Detroit Lions team over the offseason. Of course, with new players, new coaches, new schemes, and new cultures being integrated into the Motor City's football team, there have been a ton of questions so far answered in the 2021 offseason. But one of the questions that had not been answered until recently was the defensive scheme. What was this defense going to look like under the new defensive coordinators with all of this new personnel and all of these coaching changes? What kind of defense were the Lions going to run? What roles were these players going to play? And how different was this defense going to look for the Lions? Well, in today's video, we are going to be talking about that. In today's video, there have been certain clips, certain quotes, and certain things released to give us a little bit of an idea how different this team is going to look and the different roles and projected starters that we may be seeing on the field for the Lions come 2021. So with that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into talking about this new look Lions defense that we may see on the field come 2021. Now, one of the biggest questions throughout the offseason, of course, was the defensive scheme questions for the Lions. Were they going to run a 4-3? Were they going to run a 3-4? How is that going to impact their players? What positions might have to change roles to fit the new scheme? And how was this defense going to look? And how different or similar would it be to the defense a season ago? Well, with recent comments and recent quotes come out, it has been confirmed that the Detroit Lions will actually be running a 4-3 defense. Now, that, of course, if you do not know, means that they will have 3 down linemen with 4 linebackers on the field. Now, with that being said, both Trey Flowers and Romeo Okwara have been said that they are moving to outside linebacker to, of course, fit the more traditional edge rusher role that they both played a season ago for Detroit. Now, a couple other pieces of news that has been announced that 4th round pick Derek Barnes will be playing the Mike linebacker. He may not be starting at the Mike linebacker position, but he will be one of those middle linebackers in the defense. Will be switched in and will be rotated around for certain packages. Now, other notes, other newsworthy events, Jeff Okudah has said that he has taken massive strides both mentally and physically for the Detroit Lions. Of course, he did not play fantastic a year ago, definitely had his moments and definitely had things that you saw that you were like, wow, that guy can be a great player in the NFL, but it has been said by coaches, and he has said that himself, that he mentally has just grown so much in the time that he has known Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn, and physically, he is getting back to even better than he was in his rookie season. Now, it has also been said that Jahlani Tavai has been impressing coaches a lot over the past couple of days and over the past couple of weeks. It has been said that the coaches are very impressed with where he is at physically, and they think that he can be a big-time playmaker in the Lions defense, even with a disappointing season a year ago. With that being said, of course, you guys are all here for the projected defense. As I said, the Detroit Lions have been said that they are going to be running a 3-4 defense with 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers on the field. Now, with that being said, my projected starting 11 goes like this, right? With the 3 down linemen, the 3 part of that 3-4 defense, I would expect Alim McNeill and Levi Onwuzurike as well as Michael Brockers to have their hand in the dirt and be those 3 down linemen. Those are guys that I think are disruptive players. Of course, Alim McNeill will be manning that nose tackle position, being a disruptive run blocker in the middle and really just being, really being that disruptive force right up the middle over the center that just doesn't allow an inch, does not give an inch, and is a really good run defender, but also is very, very disruptive on passing downs. Is a guy that can get a ton of pressure, a guy that is incredibly strong and can be a big part, a big pressure threat for the Detroit Lions. Levi Onwuzurike, the 2nd round pick, I think will be as well. I think he will also join Alim McNeill on that defensive line, probably as a 3-tech, a guy that is going to have his hand in the dirt, is going to be very, very disruptive, is going to get a ton of push versus a guard or maybe even a tackle depending on how it plays out each and every individual rep. I think he will also be right next to Alim McNeill. Those two, the 2 drafted players, are going to be huge disruptive threats and big disruptive forces for the Detroit Lions on the defensive line. And then Michael Brockers is going to be the veteran of that interior, right? He's going to be a guy that can get you pressure, a guy that can get you sacks, a guy that can get you pass rush production, and a veteran leader that can just show these young guys what to do, a veteran leader that can kind of man down the middle, and if something isn't isn't going great, then he's going to be able to fix it. It's a veteran that has seen everything he's needed to see in the NFL, and he's a guy that on the field in real time and in real moments can help these rookies see things better on the field and help their development go that much quicker. Now, with that being said, I expect both John Penisini and Da'Shawn Hand to have big roles in this defense, and I expect them to rotate around a lot. I do expect John Penisini to get a lot of playing time this season as well. I think he will rotate a lot with Alim McNeill. I think those two are going to kind of rotate until one man very clearly and very obviously wins the starting job. And then I think Da'Shawn Hand could rotate with either Levi or Michael Brockers to be a pass rushing threat on very obvious passing downs. It has also been said that Trey Flowers and Romeo Okwara could potentially move inside on obvious passing downs just to get their best pass rushing units on the field. Of course, obvious passing downs being like 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 15, 3rd and long, 2nd and long situations where it just doesn't make sense to run the ball. The Lions have said that they will rotate guys around there as well to get their best 4 or 5 players on the line to rush the passer at a time. The Lions all offseason and really over the past couple of weeks, all they've talked about, all the coaches have talked about is being disruptive, getting pressure, getting sacks, and they understand that that is going to be what makes the Lions defense great next year if they want to be a great defense. Pressure and sacks and getting to the quarterback is everything in the NFL. The Lions understand that, so not only are they putting a package on the field that will be great for stopping the run, but also get a lot of disruption from that front three, but they're also putting in a package and getting different players that are versatile and that can play severely and drastically different roles in this defense depending on the down and distance and what makes sense from the offensive perspective. Now, getting to that part of the 3-4 defense, getting to the linebackers, as I said, Trey Flowers and Romeo Okwara will be moving outside. They will be moving to the outside linebacker position, and that is where I believe both of them will start. I think the Lions will put both of them on the field at the same time. Maybe not every down, but I think there are going to be packages where you see Trey Flowers and Romeo Okwara rushing the passer off the edge at the same time, and at some point I think it might even look like more of a 5-2 defense than a 4-3 defense. Of course, Trey Flowers and Romeo Okwara are both players that are primarily edge rushers. They're not linebackers. They don't cover very well. They're not built to cover. They have not practiced coverage skills, and they really don't have that ability nor the instinct to play a true off-ball outside linebacker. They're going to be playing more of a jack role, more of a Devon Kennard kind of a role, where they're still going to be primary edge rushers for this football team. And again, I think there's a lot of different ways the Lions can go with this. I think potentially you could see some snaps where you just see the Lions rush all 5 players, being Trey Flowers, being Levi, being Alim McNeill, being Michael Brockers, and Romeo Okwara. I think you can see all of them rushing the passer at the same time on given plays, but as I said, you can rotate guys around and you can kind of move pieces in and out of that defense depending on what makes sense for the down and distance and play style. Now, with that being said, I think Jamie Collins and Alex Anzalone will be in the middle of that defense. It makes sense to me. Jamie Collins, probably our best linebacker a season ago, definitely needs to work on his tackling, definitely needs to clean up some things here and there, but I think did make the most plays out of every linebacker last year that is still currently on the roster. And then Alex Anzalone, I think, kind of walks into a starting role, being a big, fast, athletic guy that can cover, that can make plays, and kind of has an experience in a Aaron Glenn-esque defense. He's worked with Aaron Glenn before, and I think he'll be able to pick up on Aaron Glenn's system a little bit faster than some of the other rookies. Now, of course, with that being said, that would mean that Jelani Tavai, as well as Derek Barnes, and maybe even Jalen Davis-Maben are going to be rotating in certain packages. I've said this multiple times. I think Derek Barnes is going to get playing time. I think he will be integrated on certain snaps and in certain packages to play a very specific role, likely being a pass rusher, likely being a blitzer, or just being a guy that's going to tackle in the open space. I think that Derek Barnes is going to come in on very specific packages. I think if you need a guy to tackle in open space, if you need a guy to blitz, if you need a guy to just go be a tackle machine, I think Derek Barnes can be your guy. And then, of course, Jelani Tavai has shown some things in the past where he can get on the field as well in certain packages and go make some plays, primarily on the goal line where it's just your guys versus their guys, strongest man wins. I think Jelani Tavai could be a decent goal line linebacker, a guy that just kind of shoots the gap, a guy that just kind of goes straight, goes forward, and just kind of out-muscles, outstrengths the other team and gets some big plays to happen on the goal line and hopefully helps the Lions make a couple goal line stands this season. Now, that being said, of course, Julian Okwara as well as Austin Bryant will be backing up that outside linebacker position. Of course, as I mentioned before, Jalen Davis-Maben, Jelani Tavai, and Derek Barnes will be backing up the 2 interior linebackers. But with that being said, that is kind of my projected starting 7 for the front 7. That is kind of how I see it playing out right now. I see the Detroit Lions, and they've said that they will be playing a 3-4 defense in the NFL this season. And as of right now, before the preseason, before OTAs and everything like that, I do project the Detroit Lions to start Levi, to start Aleem McNeil and Michael Brockers in the front three, and then start Trey Flowers, start Romeo Okwara, Jamie Collins, and Alex Anzalone as your starting 4 linebackers. Now, with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. That is kind of the basis of what I believe the Lions defense will look like this season, based off what I've heard, based off the quotes, based off of comments, and based off kind of how everything is kind of lining up and making sense as of right now. That is the early projection of the Detroit Lions front 7. Now, the secondary has also changed a lot over this offseason, and a video will be coming out on that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But with all that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day to do so. It's quick, it's free, and it's easy, and you'd be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. So if you could do that, take those 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'd be greatly appreciative for it, and I will continue to come out with this fantastic Detroit Lions content. But with all that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video, and until next time, and as always, go Lions!